The May editorial of Taiwan Business Topics magazine is entitled Becoming a Startup Island. With Taiwan products encountering increasingly stiff competition in international markets, economists and government officials are searching for ideas on how to inject new vigor into the country's manufacturing industries, particularly in the technology sectors. Although it would be a part of a longer-term solution rather than a quick fix, AmCham Taipei suggests that Taiwan make a determined effort to create an environment conducive to cultivating new startup companies. This is currently not the case. Instead, many entrepreneurial-minded Taiwanese decide to register their companies in California and other locations where they find it much easier to arrange for funding and get into operation quickly. The loss to Taiwan is immeasurable. A steady stream of new companies entering the market makes it possible for an economy to constantly refresh itself with new energy and new, innovative ideas and technologies. In its annual recommendation in the Taiwan White Paper, AmCham's Technology Committee has made the promotion of startups its number one priority. In the 2012 edition, for example, the committee stressed ways in which changes in existing laws and regulations could reap solid benefits in making Taiwan more attractive to startups. Thankfully, concrete progress has occurred on one of those suggestions, easing the foreign investment approval process in order to reduce the time and expense needed to get a foreign invested startup into business. Just this month, the Legislative Yuan passed a bill exempting most projects valued at $1 million US or less from submitting a foreign investment application. When the new system takes effect, the investors will need only to report the project to the authorities rather than undergo an evaluation. Hopefully, the dollar value ceiling will be raised in the future, but the $1 million level is still enough to benefit many new emerging companies. While easing the investment approval process is a good start, there is much more that could be done. A few other examples. Revise the company law with an eye to addressing the specific needs of emerging high-tech companies and their investors. Such changes would include making it easier for the company to issue preferred stock to the founders and to incentivize employees by offering them shares in the company. Liberalize regulatory restrictions on venture capital funds in Taiwan to enable them to qualify more easily for funding from the government and state-owned banks. The requirement that a venture fund be organized with a board of directors should also be removed. Revise current policy and practice to encourage more investment by government-backed funds in companies at the startup phase, not just when they are already well established. Decades ago, the early stages of Taiwan's economic development benefited greatly from the entrepreneurial drive of its citizens. They built the dynamic small and medium enterprises for which Taiwan became famous, and many of those companies have since grown into major corporations. Today, however, the barrier to getting into business is much higher because of both cost and regulatory factors. By cutting red tape and easing access to funding, the government has a chance to develop Taiwan into the startup and therefore innovation center of the region and put the economy on a new and vital track.